Hello there! I'm Nicole Wilbur. Welcome to my channel and to my live stream. I think this is working. I'm pretty sure. If you are joining me after the fact, welcome. Tonight, Thursday night, we are going to be doing some writing sessions, writing productivity sessions. The plan is to kind of start small and then go to a larger one and then go back down, kind of like climbing a mountain. So I'm super excited that you're here, whether you're watching live or afterwards, to write with me. So if you are here live, say hi in the chat, and if you're watching after, comment below, tell me how it went. And yeah, I'm very excited to do this. So tonight I am going to be rereading Act 1 of my draft of my book, because I just finished it this morning and I want to, what's the word? And I want to kind of reevaluate it, like go back to the beginning, see how it's going, fix things that aren't working, or at least make notes of things that I want to change before I go on to Act 2. And I'm going to kind of revisit my plan for Act 2 as well and do a little bit of replotting there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come here. I'm going to say, let's start with yeah, a 10-minute writing session. Let's do like a nice, yeah, let's do a nice 10-minute writing session to start things off, and then we'll increase the length a little bit. Okay, sweet. So I have the writing session banner going. I'm gonna put the timer going on my phone. Oh, okay. This is gonna be a fun one. I'm gonna get the thingy timer going on my phone for 10 minutes. And then we're going to do a writing session. So 3, 2, 1, let's write. Okay, so I have like 30 seconds left on my timer. But I think I'm gonna just pause the writing session right there to say hi to anyone who has joined. Thank you guys so much. Hello. Hi, Devin. So, yay, evening writing session. The plan is to write for about an hour, so like another 50 minutes or so, and just keep sort of steady writing productivity sessions going. I said earlier I'm reading my rereading the first act of my novel, which is a historical fiction novel. If you are here, say hi. Let me know what you're working on tonight and where you are. I think that's always fun to know. I am in Maryland right now. Usually I'm from Toronto or in Toronto, but for the next little bit, I'm going to be here. So it's like 8 p.m., but we might have different time zones, which is always super fun. There we go. That was that 30-second mark. Yeah, I think that I'm just gonna give it a second in case anybody wanted to say hi. It is taking like 10 minutes. I've only read 5 pages. I feel like it should be a faster reader than that, but maybe not. Maybe that's normal. 5 pages, I guess, in a Word document is different than 5 pages in a book. And I'm trying not to like just skim it because I find when I skim it, I like don't take the time to feel the emotion or to like read it properly. I'm just kind of looking for what's the word? Like bad things. So I'm trying to take time and like read it and see what I can enjoy in it as I am evaluating this first act. Oh, you're near Toronto. That's so cool. I grew up for a while like just in Mississauga, so near Toronto is like home base. Okay. So I think the next writing session we can do maybe 15 minutes, 15 minutes and be back at like 8:30. I think that makes sense to me. Okay, we are on a 15-minute writing session. Ooh, not 105, 15 and back at 8:30. Okay, gonna have it show. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, let's do it. Let's do some writing. that was 15 minutes. Everyone, say hi. Let me know how you're doing. I'm just going to go through the chat really quick. So Devin and I have been talking about being near Toronto. I also enjoy the Square One Mall, but I cannot navigate around it because it is so big now. It's crazy. And yes, the 401 traffic sucks a lot. I try to avoid that highway, and I take the 427 when I can, even though it's very expensive. Hi, Donald. Yay! Glad you're here if you still are. I am rereading Act 1 of my novel. So I am going to kind of reread it and then get an idea of, I'm not really editing, I'm more just like trying to understand or trying to decide for myself how many of the things that I wanted to accomplish I actually accomplished, and maybe add a few more things in and then like replot based on where I am now. Hi, Right Wondersley. Oh, it's so good to see you. Look at all the comedians. I think, yes. We talked once, and were we talking about historical fiction and you were writing, like, was it Regency era historical fiction? I really hope I'm thinking of the right person. But let me know what you're working on. Raging Ravioli. That's a fun name. Hey, how's it going? Thank you all for joining me this wonderful Thursday night for some writing sessions. I always have such a hard time, writing after work. So I figured this writing session would actually make me write when I don't usually write. Not that I'm actually writing, I'm reading and thinking right now, but same. Right, Wondersley. Yes, it was Victorian, 1885. Okay, so I got the time period wrong, but nice. That's so exciting. Are you working on the same project still, or you said it was? So are you working on a different project? Please let me know what you're working on. Right, Wondersley is also working on historical fiction, which is so cool. I love historical fiction. I like reading it too. I just finished, well, not just finished, but like a week ago, I finished reading The Rose Code. And I have it here because I really liked it. And it's really good historical fiction. And so I'm planning on kind of, what's the word, like analyzing the writing a little bit. In the voice and just kind of going through it in the story to help me with mine, because this is from 3 female protagonists and mine has 2 dual protagonists, and they're set in different time periods and the story's not kind of the same. Like the approach is, the story's not the same, but the approach to like the events that are happening is sort of the same. Anyways, that's why this is next to me, and I also have Save the Cat, and then I have my novel on the computer. So we have all the tools. Devin, yes, reading is definitely a big part of the job. That's one of those big writing tips, right? Reading other books and then obviously reading your own work is super important. And I feel like this was a good idea to just kind of set out some time to like really read it and digest it before I go on to Act 2. Right, Wondersley. Okay, you're working on the same project, but you have another one in the earliest of stages, like brainstorming. That's such a fun stage. I like all of the stages except potentially that part in the middle where you don't know what to do. That's so exciting, though. It sounds really cool. Okay. I'm just going to see if any other chats pop up. Feel free to say where you're writing from, what you're working on, what stage of the process you're on. That's funny. Yes, I think I would prefer to save the dog personally. I am not a huge cat person, and I would never obviously I would never hurt a cat or do anything about a cat, but I would also never own a cat. I would probably save one if I had to, but I would be much more inclined. I'm very much a dog person, I agree. Save the cat and the dog. Apparently, so I remember I was on this the movie ride or something at Universal Studios, and they had a rule that was never let the dog or the cat in the action adventure movie die. Like in one of those movies that's the the tornado one or where there are huge natural disasters like that, the rule of thumb they say is like never let the animal die because the audience will forgive you for a person but not an animal. So I thought for the longest time before I actually read the book that save the cat meant like don't kill off the cat or like don't kill off the person that everyone's going to love. That is not what it means, obviously. If you, well, not obviously, because it wasn't obvious to me until about a week ago, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. But it actually means that your character should do something nice if they are not likable. So, which is advice that I'm following in this book, because one of my characters is not super likable, and she has to save the cat figuratively. All right. We've been chatting for a bit. We can chat for a little bit more, but definitely want to do another writing session. If anyone has any thoughts on how long it should be, send them to the chat here. I'm thinking like another 15 minutes, maybe. Yeah. If the animal dies, the movie sucks, no question. I agree. I 100% agree with this. That's exactly what they were saying. That's what I thought save the cat meant. Yeah, it's very important in movies, except if it's like you go into it knowing that the movie is about the animal and the animal dies. But even then, like I don't think I really enjoyed Marley and Me very much. I just remember crying a lot. I went through yeah. And the movies where you just cry the whole time, you don't have great memories of them. I personally don't anyways. I'm like, I don't need to see that again. Any thoughts on how long a writing session should be? I'm still thinking 15 minutes, maybe a funner number if anyone has any ideas. Okay, that's 15. Day 3, okay. I really hope I did this math correctly. I know there's a little bit of delay in the comments too, so I never want to like move on too quickly. Give it a second. We were just talking about that. Okay. I'm going to pull up this 15-minute writing session thingy. Oh, we're still talking. Let's talk for a second. Okay, sorry. Where the red fern grows, both dogs died and people left the theaters in tears. I've never seen Where the Red Fern Grows, actually. That sounds sad. Yeah, I 100% agree. Watch it once, then never again, because it's too sad to watch it again. 100%. Okay. Let us do some writing/reading if that's what we're doing. So 15 minutes. I'm fairly certain that math was done correctly, at least within a minute or two of when we'll be back. So 15, and we start writing. Woohoo! Or reading or whatever we're doing that's productive. Or read. All right. I didn't realize I was not on mute this whole time. I hope I was not making random noises. I usually have it on mute and then I'm playing like classical music in the background. So that was another 15-minute writing session. What did everybody think? How did everybody do? I am now on page 20 of my novel out of, I think there's 49 or something in this. Oh, and there's that timer. I think there's 49 in what I've written so far, which is exciting. So, getting there, getting there. Would love to hear how everybody else is doing. Mr. Vlandis, I don't know if you're still here, but hey, I replied to you in the comments there because I wanted to make sure I caught you and said thank you, even if you're at work. Thank you for dropping in and taking a little bit of a break with us. I'm hoping, I don't know if you're doing any writing or if you're just kind of working and chilling in the background of the sprint or whatever, but it's good to see you. Hi, or not see you, but And then we have Donnie. It is, so I'm just in EST, so I'm an hour ahead of you. So it's 8:54. Yeah, it's 8:54, and it was this late because I had to cook my final Blue Apron meal from last week, and it literally took me an hour and a half to cook it, and I anticipated that. So I cooked from like 5:45, and then I ate dinner, and so I literally was just sort of wrapping up when we started the stream at 8. I have noticed a delay, so I also have the comments. I have the thing here. Oh, Devin. Devin did chores. Oh, yuck. I agree. That is no fun. I don't like chores either. Forgot to set a word count, but I did reach chapter 14, page 118 in my fourth draft. Woohoo! Fourth draft. Oh my god, that's amazing. That's so exciting. Oh, love that. So are you doing edits now then? Right Wondrously? Or are you like rewriting bits? I would love to hear more. I've never gotten to a fourth draft in a full-length novel. With novellas, with short stories, yes, but full-length novel I've only gotten to like second-ish draft completed. So it would be really cool to hear about your process when you're on your fourth draft. That's amazing. There seemed to be a lag, but you reloaded the site. Yeah, there's a lag. I have it playing on like my other laptop over here, which I realize you can't see in the picture, so it looks like I'm just staring off at nothing. But there's a laptop over here, and yeah, I definitely see the comments on YouTube before I see them on StreamYard, which is probably just like YouTube sending the data to StreamYard. So yeah, it's going well. It's not the fastest reread ever, but that's okay because I am thinking a few things through. I honestly am up not hating it. I'm not hating it at all. I think that there are a few things that I can add. I was kind of thinking through it, and basically the thing that I think I need to change is I seem to get to sort of the inciting incident a little bit too quickly because I have sort of a beginning and then I have the first seeds of what's going to start to happen in the novel. And I actually think that I could move a few things around so I have a bit more of a setup to it. And a bit more of like, I don't know if you fell Save the Cat feast, but before the catalyst, before the inciting incident, I feel like I need a little bit more time in there before we get introduced to where the story is going. That's what I'm feeling right now. By the time I get to the end of the act, I might have completely changed my mind. Rewriting, and it's been a lot of fun. Okay, that makes sense. Good. I'm glad it's been so fun. I know a lot of people like hate the editing process, but I actually don't mind it. I think it's fun to sort of dive in and do rewriting and such. Lost count of draft numbers, build out Sean Quinn's story grid spreadsheet, and have been building a new with 4 sections, not 3. Yeah, the update to the story grid methodology. In the book, it's 3, but then they started suggesting 4, and I also did 4 on my own before they suggested it, like, on their blog, because it makes more sense to me to do it in sort of 4 acts with the inciting incident, progressive complication, turning point, crisis, climax, resolution, especially in the middle section. It gives you a bit more structure. That's fair. The story grid spreadsheet, it is tricky. It's tricky, especially I find the value shift tricky because it can be a lot of different things. So it's kind of I really like how they if you read certain examples, like they give good examples on how to like choose one, but it definitely takes like some time. So good on you for going through that. Yes. Yeah, I do have an outline for my draft. It is Yeah, I have an outline. It's basically just bullet points of what's happening every single scene and all the different events, and they're kind of the plots interweaved. I haven't done a whole lot of like this is the inciting incident or this is the turning point of this act stuff. I think that that's going to come more in editing, honestly. But I'm just trying to do the overall kind of story events and get them on the page. 3 acts, but 2A and 2B. Yeah, yeah, 3 acts, but 2A and 2B. Sure, I think that makes sense. I feel like a lot of it is semantics, just sort of what makes sense to you in terms of what you call an act versus A and B and all of that stuff. All right. I think I have time to do one more rating sprint. So I'm going to, again, just chill for a little bit and see if there are any more thoughts. But maybe another 10-minute one, another 10 or 15 minutes just to kind of close us off. Let me know if you have any thoughts around that. I do like to let it load though, in case people are or typing or anything like that, because I always feel like when I'm on live streams, I'm like trying to type, but I can never type as fast as someone can talk. Yep. Everyone sells their own versions of it, and I think in the end, like your version is what works for you is going to be like a hybrid of everything. So it's good to, I don't know, it's nice to know what other people think, but there is definitely a point at which there's just so many methodologies, like none of them's the right one. It's just kind of what works for you, right? All right, let's do 10 more minutes and yeah, finish some stuff off. So we will be back at 9:10 p.m. I love a nice round number. There we go. Alrighty, let's write. All right. Am I on mute? No. And there we go. That it is 9:10, and that is the last writing sprint that I am going to do tonight. So I am now on page 24. I feel like I was just on page 20. It's taking a really long time to read this. I get distracted by the chat though. Let's look through this. Oh, is it Nia or Naya? Thank you so much. I'm sorry you missed it. Oh no, but thank you for being here for the last little bit. Did you make it count? Did it go well? Let me know. And then we have Ray. Good morning from the Philippines. This is so sweet. Thank you so much. So nice. It's okay to take your time to read. Yeah, fair. Very fair, especially when evaluating stuff, I guess. I'm not only reading, I'm trying to figure out how to fix it or what comes next and stuff like that. You got 145. That is good for 7 minutes. Good job. That is impressive. Yay. That's awesome. Okay. 145. We have a mix of people in here too. We had someone who was at work. We have Ray who was working on schoolwork, which is always fun. Oh, like essays and studying and stuff. If anyone else wants to let us know their progress, let me know. I suppose I read 4 pages in that 10 minutes, which is pretty good. Microsoft Word pages? Yeah. Okay. Seeing as I missed, what am I working on? Oh, that's a great question. So I'm working on my it's a historical fiction novel. It's called 1837. It's set in like Canada, 1837. And so I'm working on it's like the second draft of that, but I'm rewriting the whole thing. So fun. And then we have Ray writing a research paper for psychology. Oof. Thank you everybody for supporting each other. Love that. So fun. 1837, an interesting year. Yeah, it's a very interesting year in Canadian history. I also like I think the number arrangement of it is actually kind of cool. Like ends in a 7. It's a cool year. Oh, are you Canadian too? I know Right Wondrously on here was Canadian, and we had Devin for a bit, who's also Canadian. A lot more than I expected. It's so fun when you run into people who are from the same area as you. Alrighty. You're still here. Hey! I hope it's going well. I hope your writing or whatever you're working on is going well. March 24th, 1837. Um, I don't know that. I don't know. That very possibly could be right. I want to look over that. I will look that up. Thank you for pointing that out. I want to look that up. Oh, Donnie, that sounds so. I think I've heard about this. Yeah, you've mentioned this before in some comments and stuff. That just sounds so cool. Why is it called Voodoo Hill? I mean, maybe that's spoilers, but I think of like Voodoo Doll, you know? Treehouse in Upper Michigan in 1977 near the secret hideaway of a Soviet spy. All of those things, so cool. What was I watching recently? The Crown, and then which is about Soviet spy, or there's a Soviet spy that turned out there, and also there's this book called 1945, the year that made Canada, and like the end of it is all about this one Soviet spy who apparently was the unveiling of the spy was like the unveiling of the fact that the Soviets had so many spies because they found out about him in like 1945. So it was like right at the start of the Cold War there. Anyways, very cool topic. That sounds so cool. Canadian invasion, we're taking over. Oh, yes, we are taking over YouTube. Love it. Voodoo Avenue and Explorer are cross streets in base housing. Oh, cool. Okay. What is base housing? I also don't know that. I feel kind of silly for asking, but don't know what that is. Having it streets makes a lot of sense then. Voodoo Hills Explorer Club, it's like where their tree house is. Very nice. Oh, what are cross streets? Base housing is a new thing to me too. Okay, so I'm not the only one who doesn't know what base housing is. Cross streets, I'm pretty sure we're using this in the same way, is like you have one street, so this would be like your avenue and this would be like your explorer, and they like cross each other, and then where the house is like it's near where they cross, kind of. So if, yeah. Yeah, I actually don't know the formal definition of a cross street. I feel like I know what it is, but obviously I'm not very good at explaining it. On an Air Force base. Oh, yeah. Okay. Intersection is the correct word. So my little thing was right. My ridiculous hand gesture. Okay, Air Force base. I thought it might be military base, but I wasn't sure. So thank you for clarifying that. Yes. Intersection is kind of the more familiar term to me too, and that is, yes. Awesome. Well, thank you everybody so much for watching the live stream. If you are chatting live right now, say bye. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. If you are watching after, feel free to like or leave a comment and say hey, and let me know how it went if you decided to write afterwards. I really appreciate you guys watching, and chatting with me is really fun and it helps motivate me to write, so I hope that it helps you too. Yes. No worries, Ray. Thanks, Right Wondrously. Yes, Donnie, new term. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a good night. Thank you. End.